Alright boys, Hungary is upon us this weekend, and as we know, the Hungarian Grand Prix is usually a pretty crazy, sometimes boring, generally unpredictable race though. And the heat is a big factor. And Budapest is known to be one of the hotter races of the season and one of the ones hardest on tyres, as with its layout very much demanded on traction and with the heat really eating up the tyres. So this may favour certain teams in particular. Will Mercedes once again challenge for glory? 2 wins in a row, can they make it 3? Or will Red Bull put a stop to that and finish their winless streak? But can McLaren get involved? I think they probably can, but their best bet is probably Norris. Well, the McLaren has constantly and consistently been there since Miami on the podium and challenging for the wins. I believe every single race since then they have got one car on the podium, which is incredible consistency. So of course, as I did well in Miami is a pretty tropical hot place. My Budapest isn't necessarily tropical, but it's definitely hot there, so that may favour McLaren just a little bit, just to give them a little bit more to get ahead. Red Bull have obviously been dominant for the last 2 years, and this time last year in 2023 Hungarian Grand Prix, Verstappen won by 30 seconds. So I don't know if we'll be repeating that, but you can't count out Red Bull and Verstappen or just Verstappen, because Perez, by the looks of it, I think he's got 2 more races left at Red Bull than he's done. By the Dutch Grand Prix, it's either Tsunoda or Ricciardo's going to be there. I reckon it's Tsunoda, but that's something for a different time. But the big one, Mercedes. They are bringing apparently huge upgrades to Hungary back to back from Silverstone. So could they be even faster? Could they be the favourites coming into this weekend? So the Silver Arrows may get in both McLaren's and Verstappen's way of taking glory. But no, I have something telling me that they won't quite deliver the results that you might be expecting this weekend. As of course, Budapest is very hot, as I've already said, and throughout history, Mercedes just haven't done well in the, say, hotter conditions. It's like some sort of trait deep within the DNA of the car where they just don't perform well at hot tracks. This stems back all the way from 2017. I'm thinking of the 2017 Hungarian Grand Prix where Ferrari, say, had the clear edge over Mercedes. Singapore, Mercedes generally haven't gone well. It's always pretty hot there, even though that is a night race. So I don't know. I think Mercedes will be in contention, but I don't think Mercedes will win it in the end. Ferrari may suddenly turn up out of nowhere in the heat, but due to recent performances, it could be a hit or miss really with the red cars. Now, historically, Ferrari have done well in the heat. I just don't think that would be enough for the Scuderia to actually do anything to say get a podium or challenge for the win or maybe pole position, unless I pull something crazy out the bag. Sainz has been the better of the 2 Ferrari drivers in the last 4 races. We've had Carlos scoring 33 points and Leclerc only scoring 12, who we once thought was a championship contender at one point, but Carlos is dominating him at the moment, almost with triple the amount of points in the last, obviously, 4 races, as I just said. So maybe Carlos could just sneak into the top 5, possibly. I don't see anyone else. I don't think Aston Martin, Alpine, Haas, they're probably all in the midfield. I don't think Haas will do another miracle performance that I did last time. Maybe Hulkenberg will beat both Ferraris again. No, I don't expect anything big from the midfield to surprise us. So I think it's just going to be the front to front and midfield to midfield, and Sauber is Sauber. And I'm coming to think that Mercedes will for sure though be the favourites in qualifying. I am thinking that despite the heat, despite what I said just a minute ago saying it's a hotter track, Mercedes won't do so well here. Now that's mainly to do with tyre wear, I'd say. I think their 1 lap pace will be on it, but obviously as the race goes along, I think they will just drop off. They'll say lose positions to say McLaren's and Verstappen. But I'm going to say both Mercedes will be in the top 3 within qualifying. I think Mercedes will start well in the race. But again, it's just the tyres are just going to hit the cliff for them quickly. I think within 20 laps, they're going to begin to be slower than their competitors, let's say Verstappen and the McLarens. As McLaren and Red Bull just can have better longevity with their tyres than Mercedes do. Well, I mean, Silverstone's all evidence against that, as Hamilton held those softs better than Norris, you could say. I'm not 100% sure on the lap times towards the end of their stints, but Hamilton did win the race and Norris was 3rd and Verstappen passed him, so that's what that says. But generally speaking, there's a trend where the McLaren does get faster longer they go into the stint, so that may cause some sort of dead heat towards the end. So we may have like a last stint chase towards the end of the race where Verstappen will be in the lead and Norris is chasing him behind, obviously, where it's just the pendulum switches. McLaren, as they go along into the stint, the tyres are just better. They save them better somehow. I saw something where they have little holes in the brake drums, and apparently Red Bull say they're cheating or something. I don't know much about that. That's something I saw briefly, but apparently that helps out with the tyres. So I'm going to say it's going to be a Norris hunting Verstappen sort of situation, and it's going to go down to the end. So I'm going to say they're going to finish within 2 seconds of each other. But my full predictions are Hamilton is going to take pole, but it won't convert it to the win. As I said, it's going to be a battle between Verstappen and Norris for first and second. I just think they will have better longevity with the tyres and will just simply outperform Mercedes on race day. And I am going to put Hamilton on podium, though, on P3. I did say Sainz may put a Ferrari in the top 5, and I'm going to say that. I'm going to say get P4. I'm going to really say it's a surprise for the Scuderia. I'm going to say Hamilton's teammate George Russell will finish P5, just behind Ferrari Sainz. I think he's going to be Norris Verstappen at the front, battling ahead. Hamilton may be there in the early stages, but I think he will just slowly drift away as of obviously the lack of longevity with the tyres Mercedes will have. This is what I'm predicting at least. This is not what will happen. This is just what I think might happen. So Hamilton will be sort of no man's land, and it may be quite close between Sainz and Russell. They'll be close to each other. Sainz will make a move on Russell with 10 laps to go, I'd say. So that's my predictions. This is what I think is going to happen in the Hungarian Grand Prix. There's no rain expected for this weekend, so it looks pretty good in terms of that. So yeah, what are your predictions? Give me your pole position and your top 5 in the comments. And that's all I've got to say, man. Take care. Have a good day.